If you like looking through the marketplace, there's a lot of money to be made because people don't know what they have and they don't know how to price it correctly. So if you know what to look for and what price to pay for those Axies, you can actually make money flipping Axies on the market. Hello guys, it's Axie, and today I will show you exactly how much money I made flipping Axies on the marketplace. Now there hasn't been that many flips because I don't have that much time to look through the marketplace, and I also don't have that much funds to purchase as many Axies as I would like, but I will show you exactly every single flip that I did and how much money I made on it. First and foremost, let me tell you that if you are looking to flip Axies on the market, you're gonna need a little bit of money. Obviously, you can find some gems in there that are gonna be priced at $160, maybe $200, and you can flip those for even 50% profit, but you will need some money to start with. There is profit to be made. So secondly, the Axies that you want to look for are Axies that will do well in the arena. So you're gonna need some experience and knowledge to know what cards can do well in the arena and what cards will sell for a higher price. So let's jump into the first Axie that I managed to flip. That Axie is a plant which has 0 breed count. Now I didn't look at that breed count when I was selling it, and it has somewhat decent genes. I don't think they are that good when it comes to R1, but the cards are the most interesting part. So I went for Turnip, Square Teeth, Cactus, and Hotbot. Now I already had a plant which was pretty basic because I had Pumpkin and Sirius. That's the most basic plant that you can get, but it did well. And when I started moving up the ranks, I found out that I wasn't getting enough value from Sirius because people were either spending all of the energy, or when it was later in the rounds, I couldn't use the Sirius because my plant would die anyway. So I wanted to find something other than Sirius, and I looked for Square Teeth because it still keeps me at 31 speed, so I can use the Cactus, and it also deals a nice bit of damage into plants and reptiles, which you will find a lot when you move up higher. Also, Pumpkin is a 0 out of 100 card, 110, and Turnip is a 60 out of 80. So it's a much better card when it comes to the flat statistics, and if you land the right cards in the first or second round, you can actually kill a bird. So it's a pretty good set of cards, and that was what I was looking for my plant on the front lane. I wasn't looking to flip this Axie, but I was just looking for a plant for myself, and I managed to purchase it at 0.185 ETH on September 16th. And on September 27th, I managed to, no, never mind, that's not me. No, this one is me. September 13th, I managed to purchase this Axie for 0.15 ETH, which I thought it was a good price. And 3 days later, I sold it for 0.185 ETH, which is not that much of profit if you actually look at it, because on September 27th, it sold for 0.256. Big Chief Axie Academy, which probably buys it or wants to breed it, bought it for much more. So you can see the first mistake that I did is I bought this Axie for myself and I wanted to sell it, but I didn't know where to price it. It wasn't selling for 2 days, so I probably panicked and put the price too low. If I waited a week, maybe 2 weeks, I could have sold it for much higher price, but it still was my first flip, and I'm not afraid to show you that I probably made a mistake pricing it too low, and I could have made more profit on it. But when it comes to the profit from this Axie, let's get into the numbers. I bought this Axie for 0.15, as we mentioned, on September 13th, which was $501 at the time, and I sold it for 0.185, which was $632 post fee. I'm taking away the 4.2%, which was 0.177 Ethereum. That gives us $131 in profit in just 3 days, which is not bad for my first flip. But obviously it could have been better. And before we jump into the second Axie, let me just mention that only 10% of you watching those videos are subscribed to the channel, and if you are enjoying this content, please consider subscribing to the channel, as there will be a lot more Axie Infinity content, and I do those videos daily. So jumping into the second flip, we've got a dusk on our hands. Now the dusk is very unique. I didn't check this dusk on Axie Zone, and I will show you why I should have in a second. It had 55 health, 41 speed, not bad, and Gambit from Axie.gg is the owner of this dusk now, and it has been bred 6 times. The cards on this dusk are Lagging, Hotbot, Sandal and Tiny Turtle, a very good balance of cards for your backlaner. It's sort of like an advanced Terminator, I would say, maybe. It has a lot more damage, and it can counter Terminators because of the Hotbot, turns off the Chomp, and they can't put up that much shield and that much damage anymore. The Sandal also counters the reptiles, as it does deal more damage into Dusks and reptiles. I bought this Axie on September 9th for 0.073, which I thought was a giant bargain at the time, and on September 13th I sold it for 0.118, and now could have priced it a little bit higher, possibly. I was just getting into the game. Well, I've been playing for a couple of weeks, but I didn't know much about Dusks, and especially when it comes to a card set that is as unique as this one, as it does have cards from all over the shop. So I didn't know where to price it, still made a nice bit of profit, but I will tell you that if you are having a pretty unique card, what you should do is copy the ID of the Axie and go into Axie Zone and check the uniqueness of this card. If you want to check the uniqueness of an Axie, what you have to do is go into Google, type in Axie Tech price, and you will be presented with this screen. Now all you have to do is take the ID that you just copied, paste it in here and calculate the price for this Axie. Now you can see it was super rare. There's only 5 Dusks with this card set, and the last one sold was actually mine. So there's not a lot of these Dusks going around, and because it is super rare, I probably could have priced it a little bit higher, but it is what it is. That was my first couple of Axies that I was flipping, and I didn't really know where I was at. So this Axie was bought for 0.073 as we mentioned, and it sold for 0.118. Now in dollars, that's $245 spent, and I managed to get $371 for this Axie post fee as well. So that's $126 in profit from the second Axie. Third Axie that we have is named Aroldo. Now this was a reptile that has only 1 out of 7 breed count. I should have probably taken that into the consideration given the card set. I mean, the stats are not that good, but you can see why this Axie was a good card to buy and flip. It's a very good mid laner or a back laner. It does have a 0 cost. When you match it with a plant card, it does have double the shield, so we can have 60 shield from this card for a 0 cost. That's insane. And you have 2 plant cards to combo it with. You have the Zigzag, and you also have the Hotbot. And now it does only have 39 speed, so the Disarm is probably not the best card, because you're not going to be quicker than Aqua, but it is still a very good card set. Now I bought this reptile for quite a lot. This was probably my most expensive card that I bought for flip, but I thought it was very good for myself. I didn't plan to flip it, but I just wanted it in my team. Now I bought it on September 10th for 0.183 Ethereum, and I managed to sell it 9 days later for 0.21. So doesn't look that bad. Doesn't look like a lot of profit, but it is profit nevertheless. And if we check it again when it comes to uniqueness for this Axie, copy the ID of this reptile, paste it into the pricing calculator, we can see that this reptile is pretty unique as well, as there's only 2 reptiles with this card set. Now, should have checked it. Yes, I probably should have checked it for the uniqueness, and probably should have waited a little bit longer when it comes to selling this Axie, because I really didn't know what I had on my hand. But it is what it is, and I want to show you guys the mistakes that I did and how I would improve from them. So just make sure to check the uniqueness of your Axie when you are planning to get into flipping those, and then you can learn from my mistakes as well. So those 3 Axies have been flipped by me in the last couple of weeks, and on the reptile we have bought it for 0.183 Ethereum, which was $587 at the time, and I managed to sell it for 0.21 Ethereum, which post fee is $668. Now for an Axie that is that unique and that expensive, $81 in profit is just a little bit underwhelming. So that wasn't a good flip. It's still a profit, I can't lie, it's still profit, but I'm a little bit disappointed about this one, as it probably should have been much better. Same with the plant. As you can see, the plant was sold for a lot more than what I sold it for. But nevertheless, let's count up the total profit that we have for those 3 Axies, and it is currently standing at $338. That's the post fee profit that we have made from just flipping 3 Axies. Now $338 is not bad. That can get you a decent Axie for the arena, and if you do that a couple times more, you can get a whole team either for yourself, or you can get a team for your scholar and start increasing the passive income. So that's not bad, and that was just part 1 of making money flipping Axies. I do have a couple more Axies that I have flipped, but I don't want to make this video too long, and I also want to break it up into a couple of parts so we can see the improvement and how I think through the marketplace. So if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see part 2, let me know in the comment section down below. Also give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel, as it does help out a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.